Alright, another video. Today we're reacting to.
20 most dangerous kids' toys ever sold.
Let's get into it. This is by Wacky Wednesday. It was uploaded August 18th, 2014. Let's do it. Great. Here we go.
Wacky Wednesday. From hand cannons creating fireballs to wood burning and glass blowing kit sets with temperatures exceeding 1000 degrees, we count 20 of the most dangerous kids' toys ever sold. Number 20. Austin Magic Pistol. This is a perfect example of how toy safety has changed over the years. An actual hand cannon somehow made it onto the store shelves and was sold to kids in the late 1940s. This toy included a supply of calcium carbide which explodes when mixed with water. It fired ping pong balls out of the gun at high speeds, which would create a dangerous fireball in the process, burning children's hands.
Mommy, my hand's on fire!
Splash water rockets. In the late 1990s, a company made a toy rocket that could explode.
In the late
The splash
1990s.
water rockets used
When
water
we were
pressure from a
born.
hose to build up energy until kids would stomp on the launcher and send the rockets flying. But sadly, at least 38 cases were reported of the rocket exploding from the pressure or otherwise flying off in unpredictable directions. This caused lacerations to children's hands and face. Number 18. Snap bracelets.
Yeah.
In case you haven't seen these before,
So- You heard that? It would fuck up their hands and their face. So you know what that means. They'd end up like.
That? Oh,
Guess
eye
who?
patched.
It would fuck up half their face.
Nick
Who
Two-Face.
else? Two-Face!
Yep.
Alright, slap bracelets. Banned in schools since 2010. Fun fact.
Bracelets are spring-loaded metal bands wrapped in colourful designed plastic or cloth. They can be straightened out until rigid and then slapped against a wrist, causing the bracelet to curl back into place. Unfortunately, it didn't take much for the more cheaply made versions of the toy to start causing major problems. They would slice into children's tender flesh when the metal band wore through its covering, with some schools even banning the bracelets. Number 17. Aqua Leisure Baby Boats. Babies love water, so parents intent on setting their babies adrift, the Aqua Leisure Baby Boat was an adorable godsend. Too bad the cheaply made inflatable boats tended to tear rather easily, causing dozens of babies to plunge right through. Aqua Leisure were ultimately fined $650,000 for knowing about the problem for 6 years. Number 16. Sky Ranger remote control airplanes. You would probably think a radio controlled airplane
We're
would
at
be
3
dangerous
minutes.
because it could
Wow.
hit someone. But that's not why the Sky Ranger's Park Flyer radio controlled airplanes make it on this list. The reason is that these planes actually tend to explode. Nearly 50 injury reports were received around the world, mentioning results like hearing loss, minor burns, and even eye injuries. Number 15.
Mommy, I'm blind.
Buckyballs. Buckyballs were super strong magnetic ball bearings that could be
Yeah.
used to construct creative disc
Children would
sculptures.
swallow them and-
Unfortunately,
They're
these
inside.
round magnets slid easily down young children's throats. And when multiple magnets were swallowed, they had the nasty tendency to clamp together through the intestinal walls and not let go.
Yup.
This could lead to tears in organs, blood poisoning, bowel blockages, and possible death. Number 14. Stretch
So-
Armstrong. Let's look past the
Mommy, I got iron balls. 2 hours later. Mommy, am I dying?
Yes, son, you are.
fact that this toy was filled with gelled corn syrup. Any toy that could potentially send a child to the hospital for head staples due to a game of tug of war is bound to be dangerous. And that is exactly what this toy did to a lot of young ones when it came out in North America. So basically, try to imagine a game of tug of war ending in spilled gelled corn syrup, because that's exactly what this stretchy toy was filled with, leaving parents not too happy. Number 13. Yo-Yo Water Ball. As of December 13, 2007, the CPSC has received 409 reported injuries related to this toy. 294 of those injuries were classified as suffocation or strangulation. One child passed out and hit his head so hard that he sustained a skull fracture, while another child was found bleeding from his mouth and nose, requiring CPR. And even 2 children have had lens implant surgery because of severe eye trauma, when the cord of the toy snapped back and hit them with such force that it shattered their eyeball. Number 12.
Oh,
What is it?
dude, it would snap back and blast their eyeball.
I know that, but I mean, I thought it was going to be next
Their
to
eyeball
that.
gone, bro. No, I got one of those things at Disney Story Time.
Oh boy.
Or something like that. It was something related to those. So I was playing with it in the hotel room. I don't know what I was doing. I ended up hitting it, or I don't know. Something happened that it ripped open, and there was just goo everywhere, and it was like green or something. I played with it. Not a good choice. I just played with that thing, then I realized, oh my god, this stinks. I tried washing it off for about 2 hours. I finally got it off. So don't fuck with fuck shit.
Yep.
Polly Pockets. In 2006,
Wow,
Mattel
that's stupid
recalled more than 4 million Polly Pocket plates. Kids may have mistakenly
Those are
believed that the
garbage.
magnets to be candy. Some teens even used the magnets to imitate nose or lip piercings and accidentally ingested them as well. In either case, they set off a potentially fatal chain of events.
Okay,
When
those
multiple
teenagers are
magnets are
stupid.
ingested, they can
But
connect
the thing is,
inside the body and potentially tear
those
through the lining of the
teenagers back
stomach or
are
intestinal
still
walls,
smarter
which
than
may
the ones
result
today.
in death.
I mean,
Number 11.
have you seen the
Magnetics.
yellow lately?
The Magnetics series of toys were actually a cool series of building toys that snap
Exactly.
together
You
using
haven't seen any
magnets.
of the
The
yellow
problem is that the
anymore
magnets
'cause they're
contained in the
all
plastic
dead.
connector pieces could easily fall out, and
Dude,
children could
magnetics,
easily
I used to
swallow
have
these
that.
tiny magnets that actually snap together inside of their stomachs. And many young kids were injured, and one even died. I'm starting to think that toys with magnets are probably a bad idea. Number 10. The Slip and Slide. Since Whammo first started selling it
Slip
in
and Slide.
1961,
Oh, shit.
more than 30 million Slip and Slide toys have been sold. The aim of the game is for the player to slide down the wet sheet on his or her stomach, enjoying hours of cool fun on a hot day. But the fun is meant for kids only. In 1993, the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued a warning about slip and slide use by teenagers and adults.
Aw.
It turns out that the slide wasn't long enough to accommodate their size and weight. And
Why
the
not make
abrupt stop
longer
at the
ones?
end, in some cases, even resulted in permanent spinal damage. At the time of the warning, one teenager and 7 adults had become paralyzed by receiving neck injuries after playing on the slides. Number 9.
Hospital.
Moon shoes.
Moon
These
shoes.
were marketed as mini trampolines for your feet. And of course, the company didn't think of broken ankles when they created them. Instead, they said, hey, here's an idea. Let's add springs to our shoes the size of cement blocks and encourage kids to jump in them. It's just like
yeah.
jumping on the moon, except you're not on the moon and you're most probably going to get ankle fractures. Parents suggested that the slogan for the product should have been, now your kids can break their ankles faster than ever before.
Oh yeah.
The Swing Wing. This was a toy similar to the hula hoop, although worn on the head and twirled around by moving the neck and or body in a back and forth motion. It was developed by Transogram Games and introduced in 1965. The company had been producing mainstream toys such as Tiddlywinks and Dr. Kids since 1959, and since then, kids all around the world began causing injury to themselves. So, the Swing Wing was eventually pulled from the market, leaving kids searching for a new fun way to get their spinal injuries on. Number 7. Monster Science Colossal Water Balls. Remember those little capsules that promised to magically grow into giant dinosaurs like the ones on the package when dunked in water? Those capsules would only transform into lumpy, vaguely dinosaur-shaped disappointments.
Yup.
Now what if we told the child version of you that there was a marble-sized ball that when wet could literally grow 400 times its original size? Fun, right? Now imagine these colourful marble-sized balls somehow made it down into your small intestine.
Yeah.
Such a scenario happened with kids all around the world. And from there, they caused life-threatening episodes of vomiting and dehydration. And to top it all off, these things were impossible to x-ray and even required surgery to remove. Number 6.
Ain't that
Kite
juicy?
tube. The kite tube or tube, which was 3 meters or 10 foot wide, allowed a boat pull rider to yank a cord in order to glide into the air. Unfortunately, once riders were airborne, they were given little control over the flying tube. Admittedly, the parasail mixed with an inner tube.
Okay. Quick advice. There's a tube. Videos I promises you. I know. Yeah. No, this is still recording. Okay. Quick little insight from us at Toxic Bros. If there's something that will send you flying through the air, there is a 95% chance your ass gonna be dead. Okay, let's continue.
Alright.
Sounds pretty amazing. But, unfortunately, with only stirrups and hand grips to keep you from falling, flying to the height of a 3-story building probably wasn't the best idea. And kids weren't the only ones impacted by this incredibly dangerous toy, and even 3 young adults were actually killed using one. Number 5. Toy guns. In October 2013, a sheriff's deputy in Santa Rosa, California, shot and killed a 13-year-old boy walking down the street carrying a replica of an AK-47. The policeman thought it was the real thing and feared for his own life. Whether BB guns, airsoft, paint guns, or simple toys, imitation firearms can play into a dangerous police matter. US federal law since 1989 has required most toy guns to be outfitted with a bright orange tip on the muzzle or to have a brightly coloured body. Unfortunately, this young boy's gun did not have these distinctive markings. Number 4. Creepy crawlers. This particular toy came with a plastic goop, the consistency of syrup. And by adding an electric-powered mold that heats to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, you could basically create your own toys. This may seem like a dangerous mix, but these were the primary ingredients in Creepy Crawlers, a toy sold in 1964. The idea was to let kids mold their own spiders and bugs out of plastic, all the while breathing potentially toxic and deadly fumes and burning their fingers on the sizzling hot plate. Number 3.
Fun fact, I actually had that for about 3 months. Yeah, for about 3 months I used that. I ain't dead.
It's true.
Mostly because the fucking thing exploded. Yeah, I was using it. Fire. Why not?